All right, Dave. So why don't we move on to talk about Briarpatch from showrunner OG, The Watch. What was it beforehand?
Hollywood
Yes,
Prospectus,
great
Grantland.
name, great name. Um, Hollywood Prospectus host Andy Greenwald, longtime TV critic, finally taking his shot behind the screen. This seems like it had been coming. If anyone that is tuned into the Ringer, tuned into the Watch, it's a podcast I think we both highly recommend. Andy has been pretty upfront about how he's like been collaborating with Sam Esmail a bit, giving him some feedback, really starting to get tuned into this world of
hmm
these TV show curators, so to speak. In Briarpatch, based off of the novel by Roth Thomas of the same name, starring Rosario Dawson. First episode last Thursday. Second one was dropped on YouTube to watch for free. So, Dave, let me ask you, how are you feeling about the first episode or two of Briarpatch?
Good. Yeah. So I watched both,
Mhm.
both on YouTube, and which is a nice perk from USA. I think they did that before Mr. Robot maybe went back in the day. I don't remember, but yeah,
Oh,
definitely uncommon to just totally throw shit up there without any kind of paywall just to get
mhm.
people to check something out. Um, yeah, I obviously I haven't read this novel from 1984. Don't read a lot of fiction these days, but I know Ross Thomas is pretty well liked for being a crime writer. Um, so just kind of going in knowing that it was an adaptation of a well liked mystery, I just kind of had those expectations. And then after watching first two episodes, I definitely feel pretty good about it just because it has a lot of those other things I associate with people in the Esmail orbit, namely just striking visuals and directing touches. And then when you combine that with good acting, it's usually pretty compelling. So I'm in so far. But what about you?
Yeah, it has caught my attention early. It feels like a mishmash of a lot of TV shows that we've been talking about, right? Especially recently with the end of the decade. The setting feels very Breaking Bad to me. They're Southwest Texas. They're right by the Mexico border. So
They
it's
literally
the
filmed
desert.
it the same place they've made Breaking Bad in Albuquerque.
So there you go. It has kind of the similar style to a show like Mr. Robot, as you just mentioned, in terms of the shots, in terms of kind of the weirdness of the show, and just the overall vibe and feeling around the show as you're watching it. So
Right.
I think it has all the makings of a show that we will really like, and it has Rosario Dawson, who very interesting lead. I think she's been great so far, very magnetic. I just thinking about her, it feels like she's been around in my mind forever, and she's just never broken through with like a role to me that's like, wow, Rosario Dawson, like this is it. She finally is like huge. Do you have that same feeling about her? What's your feeling of her?
Yeah, she's kind of like I think up and down in terms of like big roles, but I think of like Kids way back in the day. She was really young for that. That was just an ensemble piece. Um, I mean, I guess recently the night nurse on the Marvel Netflix shows, Daredevil mainly,
Mm-hmm.
was probably her most high profile stuff recently. But no, I mean I feel like she's always around and doing interesting things, which is cool because again she's really good. So and she's kind of just on Briarpatch, she's bringing you that uh edge, trying to figure out the mystery character. It's familiar, but I think she's doing it well. So yeah, I'm liking what she's bringing so far.
Yeah, I agree that she's doing it very well. And someone else that I think has been really impressive to me in the show so far is Jay Ferguson, who plays Jake Spivey, a veteran, now a military weapons sales person. Um,
Something like that. Yeah,
yeah, and he's
extra legal.
he's friends with Pig, who's Rosario Dawson's character. I don't know if you mentioned that yet. And last time I really was tuned into his work. I mean, he's one of those that guy type of
hmm
actors. You see him in a lot of things, but probably don't know his name. I remember watching him in uh, Mad Men, and he was pretty good in that. Every time he came on screen, I thought he was pretty good. But he pretty much had a bit part. He's a role player. This feels like he gets to really do a little bit more, and I think he's been phenomenal in every scene. Like in the first episode when Pig goes to his house and is deposing him um, in his living room. Just that was the scene that really pulled me into the series, and I felt like I was really in. Beyond the fact that they had a car blowing up in the first 5 minutes of the episode, but
Right.
I thought that was just electric, and every scene between him and Rosario Dawson just feels like it's such like a sexual undertone to it as well, with all of the like double speak and every dynamic that's at play there. I think it's really fascinating to see those two cook together. Any other characters that stood out to you, or any thoughts about any other performances so far?
I always like to see Kim Dickens,
Hmm.
kind of similar that guy s
Yep.
role. The Gone Girl, Fear the Walking Dead, a lot of stuff recently. She's always a welcome presence, so looking forward to that. Also, we know Alan Cumming will be on this show. Perhaps he's the one leaving us at the end of episode 2, TBD.
Hmm.
That's exciting. But yeah, I mean, there's like a certain like I think energy to it. It's like this manic, like lawless Texas town. So, evil's afoot. Let's find out what that evil is. Like yeah, cool. I'm with that. Especially when like again, it's so high gloss about all the other aspects of it. So hoping it keeps going.
Definitely. Um, really looking forward to seeing more of this. Also, we just want to shout out. I'm not sure if it's Eddie or Edie Gathegi who plays
Mm-hmm.
AD Singh, and I think he's fantastic so far as well in every scene he's been in. I'm very curious about him. There's a lot of mystery going on, so I'm hoping that this wraps up well. And also the zoo breakout and the animals kind of roaming loose is like a nice like metaphorical undertone. It feels like to all of this. So
Lawless, wild.
definitely.